Hi, everyone. My name is Sydney Favors, and I'm a first year graduate student at the University of Buffalo. And I am a part of the UBTR first cohort. Excuse the background, I'm still at work. Um, I recently graduated from Buffalo State College this past May with my bachelor's degree in history. Also, I minored in African American Studies, Women and Gender Studies, and Sociology. As a freshman in college, I did not major in history. I majored in political science. I wanted to become a lawyer, but once I got into the major and started taking some of the classes, I realized that was not the field for me. I wanted to become a lawyer because I thought I was going to be a high time prosecutor, making millions of dollars, but that was not my reality. So at the end of my first semester, I changed my major to history. I wasn't sure of becoming a teacher. I had pondered the idea, but I knew I liked history because it was my favorite subject in school growing up. At Buffalo State, I took a variety of history courses ranging from Black history, Latin American history, global history, and New York State history. Particularly with Black history, I enjoyed it because learning more about famous figures in those classes than I did in growing up in like elementary, middle school. It empowered me. It made me feel good about the people from my culture, especially Rosa Parks. We know that she's a woman that refused to give up her seat on the bus, but Rosa Parks was a strong advocate for sexual assault victims. She wrote down their stories and she would write about them and publish them in some forum for the NAACP. Things like that empowered me. It made me proud of her as a Black woman during that time to stand up and do things like that. And stories like that we don't often hear. I never heard about that story in school, and I hope to be able to tell some of my students those stories. I want to become a social studies teacher because I feel like social studies helps prepare you for that civic, political, and social world that you're going to be entering into as an adult. I I remember during the election of Barack Obama, I was about 11, 10 years old. I remember sitting with my mom and watching the presidential debates. I remember when he was elected, going to the stores at like 10 o'clock at night and gathering newspapers. And one of my social studies teachers gave like an extra credit assignment. If you bring a newspaper in, you get extra credit. So I brought one in. Things like that, it made me had an appreciation for history. I feel like social studies is that door that allows you to enter various cultures, heritage, learn about it. I feel like social studies provides that foundation for you to have an intellectual conversation about various issues and topics and bring solutions or offer solutions to those issues. Um, Especially with voting, I feel that my social studies teachers, they discussed the three branches of government with me extensively and my classmates. And I really want to do that as a social studies teacher because I feel like students lose the value of voting. They only vote during the presidential elections, but you forget you have to vote for members of your school board, your local, vote for the mayor, the Erie County legislator. Like, some people forgot that it was primary day, things like that. I want to engage my students. I want them to contribute to their society in many ways. There's ways to make changes. You don't have to be a politician. You can change your community with a vote. Your voice matters. Your participation matters. And I want students to realize that social studies showed me that my voice matters in my community. Another reason I wanted to become a teacher, I learned in one of my sociology classes that there was a shortage of black teachers in the schools. And I feel like that is an issue. A lot of people have mentioned that, but why aren't there more black teachers going to school if we feel like this is an issue? I feel like there should be a diverse teaching force to represent the bodies reflective of the student body. I don't remember having a teacher of Asian descent, of Arab descent. You know, I feel like each one of these teachers from these distinct backgrounds can provide an excellent conversation for our students, and our students can relate to them, and it's so important to have that in that society, that conversation. You know, things like racism or different injustices, that conversation with everyone involved collectively, I think that might do us better. You know, things that are misinterpreted in different cultures, we can have that conversation. And I think social studies specifically provides that table for people to sit at. When I start teaching global studies, I am kind of nervous about it because U.S. history was my favorite, but once I got to college, I had an appreciation for learning about history outside of the U.S., you know. It's important to know about others' cultures, the way they do things, and the way other countries have did things compared to the United States. And it makes you more aware. You know, we have a way of looking at things because we're United States citizens. But what about the perspective of someone from London or Peru or Egypt, Saudi Arabia, things like that? So I'm excited to teach it, but I'm nervous, but I'm sure that I'll have the necessary guidance from this class and others to be prepared. Yeah, so I'm very excited to start this class and start all the rest of my summer courses and the fall courses. So I can't wait to meet you all soon. You guys have a great evening.